All right, welcome to Talkin Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. We have 2 days this week in a row that have been huge for Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin miners have had an interesting ride along the way as well. So I want to catch everybody up on yesterday, but mostly I want to talk about today, and then there's a few miners in specific that had just staggering moves, and I want to go through those. I also want to talk about where I think we're going from here. So a lot to cover today. I'll try and get through it quickly. If you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it helps the channel out a lot, and I really appreciate it. Lastly, you can join the channel and become a member by hitting the join button on YouTube. And we have some members-only content. In addition to that, once a week we have a members-only live stream. So you're welcome to join us there. If you don't see a join button, then you can hit the link below. Okay, let's talk about Bitcoin. I'm going to start with the Bitcoin miners, and I want to look at what they did today because there was some staggering moves today. And then I also want to look at yesterday because we didn't go through this in detail yesterday. I did go through it on a live stream, but I didn't do a video on it, so I want to get this out to everybody. The last 2 days of activity have been remarkable. Okay, so I'm going to start by looking at today. You're going to see a lot of red on the board for the Bitcoin miners today. So, it was somewhere in the neighborhood of half and half. Most of the larger Bitcoin miners did have a down day. A few exceptions, though. So I'm going to talk about some of those exceptions. And then two companies went absolutely ballistic today. So all this red is despite the fact that Bitcoin actually had a second day in a row of taking a big leg up from where it was. We were stuck in that 19,100 range pretty much for over a month. So when we get to the charts, you'll take a look at that. We've been sideways for more than a month. We've been stuck in an incredibly tight trading range. Yesterday, we broke out of that range and had a big move to the upside, and then we had another big move to the upside today. Other than Mawson, everything was super green yesterday. All right, so if we go down the list, you'll see Bitfarms was down 3.6%, HUT was down 2.5%, Hive was down 4.2%. So the Canadian miners all pulled back a little bit. But remember, they were all up 15, 16, 17% yesterday. So between the 2 days, these are still way up, and we're going to take a look at some of these. Marathon was down 6.5%. Core Scientific was down 6.5%. Gree was down 7.8%. So a lot of the big miners did have a red day, the vast majority. The outliers, there were two smaller miners and one of the main miners. So Cleanspark was up almost 7% on the day. Just so everybody knows, about an hour into trading, this board was 100% green and everything was off to the races again. Then Bitcoin kind of settled down and went sideways and down just a little bit, and this board pulled way back. Basically, the rest of the day, all these stocks trickled down. But still, with all that, Cleanspark ended up almost 7% up on the day. We're going to look at them specifically later, but even bigger than that, Argo Blockchain was up 22.8% today. At one point, about an hour before the close, Argo Blockchain was up 50% on the day. So it did pull back off of its highs, but still up 22.8%. And remember, it was up 38% yesterday. And then lastly, I want to talk about Cypher. Cypher was up 42.5% today on no news that I'm aware of. So Cypher and Argo Blockchain did have incredibly unusual volume, particularly Argo Blockchain. Their volume was by far the biggest volume day they've had since they moved on to the NASDAQ about a year ago, and it's not even close. Okay, so we'll dig into those later. Right now, let's take a look at what Bitcoin did. Okay, so this is Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. As always, there's an orange line where Bitcoin was when the market closed yesterday. So Bitcoin was at 20,280. Now that is a huge move up. Believe it or not, this green line at the bottom of the screen, I'm gonna move that up a little so you can see it. This green line right here is around that's around 19,200 plus or minus a few $100s. We have been on top of this line for over a month. So we really have not had a big move to the upside or the downside in the last month. We've been absolutely stuck. From the green line where we spent about the last month at around 19,200, we jumped up to 20,200, so that's a $1,000 increase. We had another big increase today. From the close of the market yesterday to the close of the market today, we were up another 2.6%. So not as big a move, but still on top of that giant move, we had another nice move to the upside. You'll see earlier in the day, we were up about 3.6%, and we had several green candles in a row, and that's when all the Bitcoin miners were in the green, and it looked like they were going to take off and have another giant day. But as happens so many times, there was a reversal in the middle of the day, and most of these stocks got dragged down. Some of that was just balancing out yesterday's massive update. Also, the other half of that was the NASDAQ was down 2%, and I think the Bitcoin miners were down accordingly. However, you will notice Bitcoin was up 2.5%. So Bitcoin has been on its own trajectory over the last month or month and a half. So ordinarily when the Nasdaq's down 2%, the Bitcoin's down 2% or maybe 4% or worse, but that's not happening right now. So I'm not saying they have forever split, but at the moment, for the last really month and a half, those two haven't had the same level of correlation that they had for really like a year prior to that. Okay, so everything becomes a little more clear on Bitcoin 4-hour time frame. So each one of these candles is 4 hours, and then you'll see, starting with this green candle, this was 2 days ago, right before the market opened, the equity markets in the US. So we had this gigantic day up, and then we had this gigantic day up. So, and you can see prior to that, we have just been glued to this green line all this time. Really, this keeps going all the way back to the middle of September. So it's been over a month that, for the most part, other than popping up and down a little bit, we have been stuck on this green line. When we go to the one-day chart, I'm going to show you that we are now starting to set a higher high. That's a crucial signal, potentially confirming this relief rally that I've been talking about forever. And I will note, one of the members of the channel happened to notice that one day, just one day out of the last 30 days, I did not call for a relief rally, and that was Monday night. And of course, Tuesday, we had a gigantic rally on Tuesday and Wednesday. So isn't that how it always seems to work? Okay, so if we look at the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, you'll see we did get to overbought territory yesterday, but I have a blue line up here around 85. So on the 4-hour time frame, the RSI can fluctuate between 70 and 85 on these little relief rallies or bull runs. So we have not gotten up to that 85 yet. We're in a tight situation here, but it does look to me like there's still room to the upside. And when we go to the one-day time frame, you're going to see why I think we are headed to the upside from here. Yesterday, we had a crossover on the 4-hour time frame, and we have picked up huge momentum since then. So this is the nicest run we've had in quite some time. So this also points to the fact that it looks to me like we have room to run, but the one-day time frame is going to make more sense. This is Bitcoin on the one-day time frame, and you can see it really jumps out at you in this picture. We had a local bottom on September 21st, so that was just over 1 month ago, where Bitcoin got down to around 18,200. We did then retest that just 10 days ago. We did retest that just 2 weeks ago. We got basically right down to the exact same spot. So we hit a low, we retested the low, and now you can see as of the last 2 days, we have taken off. Whereas we were going from forming lower highs, from here you'll see to here, we've now switched to forming higher highs. So this was our previous high, and now we're up here. So we've taken that out. That's what we were looking to do. We wanted to get into this 20,700, 20,800 type of a range. I have a small blue line here. That has been a target. So that was a significant number. That to me is where we needed to get to really establish a true higher high from the previous high, which was more around 20,400. So we did take that out today. We've pulled back a little bit, but I want to look at the one-day time frame. I want to look at the RSI. Okay, so you're going to see the RSI on the one-day time frame is at 65. This is particularly important to me, and this is why I think we really might have a nice run up. Okay, I'm zoomed way out here. You're going to see there's a blue line here at around 61. So this summer we had a big rally up to $25,000 in the middle of August for Bitcoin. During that big rally, this was resistance, 61 on the daily RSI. We bumped into it 3 different times, and then we pulled back. We had another nice rally in the middle of September, this time only up to about 22,500. But boom, we ran right into this exact same number at 61 on the daily RSI, could not get through it, and turned around and had a reversal. So this time, we've actually gone straight through this. So over the last 2 days, we went from way below this at or around 50, which is neutral. We've gone through this line of resistance. So to me, that is very encouraging. So obviously nothing is guaranteed. And with Bitcoin, we know everything can change in a minute, but that is a very encouraging sign. We have not been above 61 on the daily RSI since Tuesday, March 29th. We got to oversold territory. That was at 70 on the daily RSI. We got to 70.1. At that time, Bitcoin had had a massive rally back up to $48,000. So that is the last time we got above this 61. So the last time that happened, we had huge results. So obviously, I'm not expecting to get back to 48,000. But I do think this leaves the door open to get back to 25,000 where we were just in August 2 months ago. So a lot of things are set up, but again, I have been fooled. I have to say I've been fooled several times over the last month. So hopefully we do not revert back to our green line at 19,200. We have now taken that out significantly. We're $1,500 above that. We did get above 21,000 today for just a minute, so that was also a good sign potentially of things to come. The last thing I want to look at real quickly is the fear and greed index. You can see yesterday it hit 33. We've been between 20 and 25 for the entire last month. So if I look at this 1 month chart, you'll see we were stuck pretty much. We hit 20 several times throughout the last month. We're at 33 right now. That's the highest we've been in over a month. And I'm gonna go to the 3-month time frame because we had 2 nice relief rallies in the last 3 months. And you're gonna see in the big relief rally where Bitcoin got up to $25,000. Remember, Bitcoin got there on August 15th. Well, on August 14th, the fear and greed index got up to 47. So those pretty much corresponded. This fear and greed index basically exactly called the top of Bitcoin. Well, the same thing happened again. On September 13th, we ran up to 22,500 in Bitcoin, which was a smaller relief rally, but a nice relief rally the same. And the fear and greed index got up to 34 at that time. So it's going to be super important to see where we can get from here. We just jumped to 33. If we can take that out and maybe make a run up near 50 again, then maybe we can have one of these runs and get Bitcoin back up to $25,000. So that's what I'm looking for. Those are the things I'm going to be looking at in the next 24 hours and 48 hours to see if we can keep this rally going. This really does seem, I know I've said it before and I've been fooled before, but this really does seem like we are in the middle of a relief rally. And this is the first time out of all those times we have clearly broken out of our range. We got almost $2,000 above the spot that we've been stuck at. Okay, so I'm going to finish up on the 15-minute time frame, and you can see we're still pretty much sideways, right where we were when the market closed. So very healthy. Bitcoin at just under 20,800. So let's hope we can hold that line. 20,700 is a line I'm looking to hold, and definitely we absolutely want to stay above the pink line, which is just under $20,000. So ultimately, even if we retest that line, that wouldn't be the end of the world, but hopefully it's up from here. So please be careful investing. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe and smash the like button. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks.